Switch Radio Sport. This is Switch.
Worcester City win that game and they will be in Division 1 Midlands next season.
Chance in ball control. Job's got chance in the penalty. Gets shot in and goes to the back of the net. And Cheyenne Jarvis gets the second goal for Leaford Athletic this afternoon. Found space in the 6-yard box.
Back to the edge of the penalty area with the pass. Cross in towards the back post. Headed goalwards and in.
That's a great shot from De Castro. Oh, what a save for Gray. And the Red Cube 2-0.
Stourbridge have won the Division 1 Midlands title.
The Women's Football Chat on Switch Radio.
Good evening, welcome along to this week's Women's Football Chat. My name is Chris Gadsby. I'm here every week bringing you the very latest from the third and fourth tiers of women's football here in England. That's the FA Women's National League. And it's a slightly shorter show this week because we've got, well, 2 league results to go through. Then it's just the Cup and the Plate. It was kind of a half programme. But we do have a busy week in store. We've got a midweek fixtures as well as the first round of the FA Cup. The vast majority of teams involved in that. So we are going to crack straight on, but we're going to start with the news, and we're going to start in the Midlands from Northampton Town, as Josh Oldfield has stepped down as manager of Northampton Town Women after 6 years in charge. They are, as I said, in Division 1 Midlands. However, they've not had the best start to the season. They're currently down in 10th and are already, bear in mind they were so close last year, they're already 10 points off the top of the table. Obviously last year they finished second behind Loughborough. They finished 8 points behind them in the end, but Loughborough did have that unbeaten season. Northampton Town second, they are now 10th, and Josh Oldfield has stepped down from his role. The head of women's football operations at Northampton Town, Scott Loughran, has said that Josh has been a hugely important figure in our fantastic progress over the last few years. He leaves with nothing but our admiration and our thanks for everything he did, and a lot of our unrivaled success over the last few years was down to Josh. Josh has a very young family, and as you rise through the levels, what is already a very full-on role can become even more so. We completely understand and respect his decision. Oldfield has added that while he's sad to be leaving the role, he feels it's the right time for all involved, including his young family. I'd like to thank all of the players and the staff I've worked with for everything that they have given, and I'm proud to have worked with you all. I'd also like to thank all of the sponsors, supporters, and everyone at the club for their help and support. So this isn't a poor performance and getting rid situation. This is a decision that he has made in order to him to spend more time with his young family. So Northampton Town then in the process of finding a new manager. Also without a head coach at the moment are Middlesbrough. They had a very short statement that came out last week that says, Borough Women's head coach Michael Mulhern will not be involved in day-to-day duties with the team until further notice. During this period, the role will be fulfilled by Jo Lilly, who will be assisted by Emma Foster. No further comment will be made at this time. So not great, it sounds like, at Middlesbrough at the moment, who have had a good start in the Northern Premier Division. They're 6th, just 7 points off Burnley, who are top of the table. But they have made that announcement this week. Right, let's get straight down to it then with the results from the past 7 days. As I said, it's Cup, Plate and a couple of league fixtures as well. Okay, we're going to start with the FAWNL Cup, the first round of the FAWNL Cup. Of course, some of these happened the week before. We've already covered those mainly because of the Birmingham County Cup. But the good news for the Cup is that all the PGA sides are out. Both Chelsea and Southampton lost last weekend. So let's go through that. We're going to start with Oxford United beating Chelsea's Academy by 4-0. A hat-trick for Emma Thompson and 1 for Reva Castley, getting Oxford United comfortably past Chelsea's PGA side. Burnley beating Norton Stockton Ancients by 6-1. A hat-trick for Charlie Chadwick. 1 for Millie Chandarana, Emma Siddle and Helen Seed. Norton's only goal coming to Louise Atkinson in the 12th minute. Cheltenham Town also knocking out a PGA side. They took the lead early on. Grimara Tasham in the 2nd minute. Libby Bell in the 18th minute, putting Cheltenham in control of that game. So the FAWNL Cup is all FAWNL sides once again. The clue is in the name. Dulwich Hamlet beating Chatham Town by 1-0. Jessica Francis Weir, the only goal of that game. Exeter City 4, Fulham 2. Sophie Gillies with a hat-trick for Exeter and Ishbel Zerman with 1 as well. Fulham with Lita Rutherford and Katie Dungate getting their goals, but it's Exeter who go through. Hull City against Leeds United. Leeds winning this one by 2-1. Ellie White in the 8th minute put Leeds in front. Jessica Tugby-Andrew with the 1 for Hull City. But in the 77th minute, Alice Hughes with what would prove to be the game-winning goal for Leeds United. Queen's Park Rangers against AFC Bournemouth. Kenny Thompson, the only goal in this game. Good showing from Queen's Park Rangers against the Tier 3 side in the 77th minute there. Real Bedford beating Derby County by 3-2. Late one here as well. They scored early through Amber Gaylor in the 4th minute. But Rebecca May then equalised for Derby County in the 18th. And Derby took the lead through Chien Muir in the 34th minute. Izzy Bryant equalising for Real Bedford 20 minutes into the second half, and then 6 minutes from time, Gayla popped up with her second of the afternoon to put Real Bedford into the second round. Swindon Town, they won by 2-0 against Actonian. Swindon Town, of course, flying at the top of Division 1 South West. Annabelle Colston in the 6th minute, Libby Davis in the 10th minute. They got their scoring done nice and early. Lewis, they beat #United by 4-1 despite being behind at the break. #United with the only goal of the first half, and that was an own goal in the 11th minute. But then Lewis in the second half, 66th minute for Hannah Godfrey, 69th minute for Lois Edwards, and then 2 to Paula Howes, 88th and 90th. So very late goals for Lewis. Final game in the first round of the Cup. Plymouth Argyle beating Watford by 3-0. 2 for Olivia Francis, 45th and 53rd minute, and 1 for Tiana Taser in the 49th minute. That means that the Cup draw is complete, and we had the draw for the second round of the Cup, and that is as follows. Middlesbrough taking on Liverpool Feds, Burnley against Real Bedford, West Bromwich Albion taking on Leeds United, AFC Sudbury against Wolverhampton Wanderers, Lewis take on Dulwich Hamlet, Plymouth Argyle against Oxford United, Swindon Town against Cheltenham Town, and Exeter City against AFC Bournemouth. Those two old rivals are battling it out once again. So that is the second round draw that was drawn on Monday. Let's go through and have a look at the plate results, because there are plenty of those to go through, because only Durham Sestra against Sheffield United's PGA was played last week. So we've got 15 of these to go through. We're going to start with London Bees beating Cambridge United by 4-3. London Bees then good away win for them. Their goals coming 2 to Millie Isherwood, 1 for Breon Fowle and 1 for Cheyenne Flynn. Then for Cambridge United, Jade Bell again, because of course she did, Zoe Wood, and 1 which is missing off full time because it was an own goal from London Bees. Gwalior United needed extra time to get past Tottenham Hotspur's academy, but they did it by 4 goals to 3. Corey Williams-Mills with the goal in extra time after she scored in normal time, as well as Georgie Walters and Kessie Gregson for Gwalior. It was a hat-trick for Heidi Hills for Tottenham Hotspur's academy, but that is another PGA side gone. Cheadle Stingers narrowly beating Sheffield by a goal to nil. 87th minute, Imogen Portis-Williams. Great showing from Sheffield there against Cheadle Stingers, who of course are top of Division 1 North at the moment. But Cheadle are the ones that get through. Ascot United beat Chesham United by 4 goals to 1. Anessa Harney in the 38th minute, backing up Darcy Maxted in the 35th. Beth Lloyd in the 78th. For Ascot United after an own goal in the 21st minute got things going. Holly Fitzgerald with the only goal for Chesham United in the 26th minute. Chorley against Aston Villa. This game was abandoned because of a bad injury to a Aston Villa player. So that is being replayed this Sunday. So that is the one plate fixture which is taking place this weekend. Doncaster Rovers Bells 0, Birmingham City Academy 3. So unfortunate for Doncaster Rovers Bells. That's a PGA side through into the second round of the plate. Lucy Day, Lucy Powis and Emily Fitzpatrick with the goals for Birmingham. Huddersfield Town 3, Loughborough Lightning 2, Rebecca Beresford in the 4th minute, Hannah Burgess in the 8th minute, Rima Lord Mears in the 28th minute. Early goals for Huddersfield Town. Loughborough did get one back right before the break. Charlotte Steggles literally on the stroke of half time. Got one back for Loughborough. And then Alice Higginbottom in the second half, 15 minutes from time, got another one back. But they were unable to get themselves level and force extra time. Luton Town did force extra time against London City Lionesses. Emily Wilson and Natasha Fenson with the goals for Luton Town. But unfortunately, it's the PGA side through again. Chloe Cabot with a goal. Habich Jibalana with the goal in extra time, as well as Lexi Hewson as well. So, yeah, unfortunate that one for Luton Town. So it's London City Lionesses through. Maidenhead United 2, Bridgewater United 1. A last-minute winner for Maidenhead. Connie Pengelly with the goal for Bridgewater United. Isabel Stockton with the one for Maidenhead United before Megan Harper in the 90th minute put them through to the second round. Moneyfields 4, Bristol City Academy 1. That's another PGA side out of here. 2 for Ali Hall, 11th and 33rd minute. Brittany Gill in the 49th, but Tierney Scott in the 12th minute. So 2 goals in 2 minutes for Moneyfields. Bristol City got one back in the 15th minute through Isla Law. But Moneyfields with that comfortable win in the end. Northampton Town 0, Norwich City 2. Lara Densley and Grace Wriggler with the goals for Norwich City. Notts County knocked a PGA side out of the competition. They beat Leicester City Academy by 3 goals to 2. And Stockport County also knocked a PGA side out. They beat Sunderland 3-2 after extra time. Jess Battle with 7 minutes of extra time to go proved to be the hero. Shauna Jean in the 3rd minute. Paige Cole in the 55th minute with the other goals for Stockport County. Halifax, they got past Worcester City, 2 goals to 1. Both goals coming 2 minutes apart for Halifax. Nia Edwards had put Worcester City in front on the 58th minute. Holly Davenport, 74th minute. Ainsley Strickland, 73rd minute. 2 in 2 minutes for Halifax. Means that the Tier 3 side get through. And then on Wednesday night, Bristol Rovers 1, Brighton and Hove Albion Academy 3. So another PGA side going through there. Patience Fergus with 2, Libby Hester with 1 for Brighton and Hove Albion. We have also had the draw for the second round of the Plate. Slightly more complicated in the Plate. It's Chorley or Aston Villa's academy side against Notts County. However, if Aston Villa win that game, that fixture will get switched because the PGA sides have to be away. So then Notts County will be at home. So it's either going to be Chorley hosting Notts County or Notts County hosting Aston Villa's PGA side. Cheadle Stingers against Huddersfield Town. Stockport County take on Durham Sestra. Halifax against Birmingham City's Academy. Gwalior United take on London Bees. Maidenhead United against Moneyfields. Ascot United against London City Lionesses Academy side. And now Norwich City taking on Brighton and Hove Albion's Academy side. So those are the results from the Cup and Plate competitions. Let's have a look at the Northern Premier Division because there were 2 games. One at the weekend, Liverpool Feds against Middlesbrough, one on Wednesday night. We'll start with Middlesbrough beating Liverpool Feds by 4-1. Chloe Fisher with the only goal for Liverpool in the 38th minute. Rebecca Ferguson with a hat-trick for Middlesbrough, +1 for Olivia Watt. Means that they win by 4-1. And then on Wednesday night, West Bromwich Albion 0, Burnley 1. Millie Ravening 11 minutes in with the only goal of that game. What it means for the Northern Premier Division table, Burnley have gone top with 17 points from their 7 games. However, they have played a game more than Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are just 1 point behind them on 16 points. Rugby Borough are third on 6 points. And West Bromwich Albion are in 4th, still on 10 points. Then towards the lower end of the table, Middlesbrough are up 2 places. They've beaten Hull. They've climbed above Hull City and Stoke City with that win over Liverpool Feds. So they are up to 6th, also on 10 points. One of 3 teams to be there. Right, that's all the results. Let's have a look at the fixtures coming up in the next 7 days. Plenty of these to go through. We will start then with the Women's FA Cup. These are all of the fixtures from the first round that are taking place this weekend, not just the ones involving FAWNL sides. So, Durham Sestra against Dronfield Town of Tier 6. Leeds United take on FC St Helens, also of Tier 6. Huddersfield Town against Wythenshawe is an all Division 1 North clash. There will be a 6th tier side in the second round because Penrith are taking on Altrincham. Middlesbrough of the Northern Premier Division against Cheadle Stingers. Those two, of course, had such a battle last season for promotion. It's Middlesbrough who won it. They now come up against Cheadle Stingers in the FA Cup. Bolton Wanderers against Pontyland United. Burnley of Tier 3 against Blackburn Rovers of Tier 4. Those two sides met in the group stages of the FAWNL Cup and it was a big win for Burnley. Stockport County against Tranmere Rovers of Tier 5. Liverpool Feds against Chester Street Town. Manchester Lacers of Tier 6 against Wallsend BC of Tier 5. Halifax against Hull City, an all Northern Premier Division tie. York City take on Leeds Modernians. South Shields against AFC Fylde, an all Tier 5 tie. Mancunian Unity take on I2I International Soccer Academy of Tier 6. Sporting Cowser against Loughborough Lightning is an all Northern Premier Division tie. Hednesford Town against SJR Worksop is an all Tier 5 tie. Crewe Alexandra hosting Boldmere St Michael's. Wroxham against Lye Town, an all Tier 5 tie. Coventry Sphinx host Derby County of the Northern Premier Division. Lincoln United against Stourbridge is all Division 1 Midlands. Northampton Town against AFC Sudbury, Division 1 Midlands against Division 1 South East. Luton Town of Tier 4 taking on Mansfield Town of Tier 5. Leaford Athletic take on Crusaders. They were meant to take on Redditch United. but they got removed from the competition for fielding an ineligible player, so Crusaders come in their spot. Royston Town against Camden Court, all Tier 5. Stevenage against Norwich City. University of Nottingham of Tier 6 against Cambridge United of Tier 4. Stoke City of the Northern Premier Division against Sutton Coldfield Town. Solihull Moors take on West Bromwich Albion. Port Vale against Worcester City. Peterborough United against Rail Bedford. Wolves against Rugby. Of all the ties that those sides could have got, they end up with a top of the Northern Premier Division table clash. Kidderminster Harriers against Redditch Borough and Brentford against Sutton United. AFC Wimbledon take on Chatham Town. Lewis against Corsham Town. Winchester City Flyers against Gwalior United. Haringey Borough against Bristol Rovers. Actonians against Watford. London Bees take on Barking. Oxford City against Sherborne Town is all Tier 5. Millwall Lionesses against Cheltenham Town. Worthing against Abingdon United. Keynsham Town against Bournemouth Sports. So a couple of all Division 1 South West ties there. And AFC Portchester against Gloucester City. Finally, Wycombe Wanderers against Bridgewater United. Fulham against South London. They are a Tier 7 side, one of 4 still in the competition. Swindon Town against Dulwich Hamlet. Saltdean United against Bromley. Portishead Town against Billericay Town. Hashtag United against Oxford United. All Southern Premier Division tie that one. Farnham Town against Leyton Orient, another Tier 7 side. Plymouth Argyle against Maidstone United. Again, another Tier 7 side still in the FA Cup. Torquay United against Exeter City. Bowers and Pitsea against Wimborne Town. Dartford take on Forest Green Rovers. And in my view, the pick of the games, Millbrook of Tier 7 hosting, currently second in the Southern Premier Division, AFC Bournemouth. So those are the ties that are being played on Sunday. So what's nice is that we will have a good number of non-FAWNL sides through into the second round. There will be at least 1, 2, 3, keep going, 4 on that page, then 5, 6, still 6, 7, 8, keeping going there, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 non-FAWNL sides through into the second round. They will then be one game away from a potential tie against a championship side. So there is lots of FA Cup action taking place this weekend. But once the cups are out of the way, which is the case this weekend, we are straight back into it with league action. Let's have a look. We've got a load of midweek fixtures coming up this week. Let's have a look at those. We'll start with the Northern Premier Division. All of these games are on Wednesday unless stated. So Burnley are in top of the table against Liverpool Feds, who are in 5th. Derby County against Stoke, 9th against 8th. Middlesbrough against Halifax. That is a mid-table pretty much. Middlesbrough in 6th. Halifax down in 10th at the moment. Rugby Borough against West Bromwich Albion, 3rd against 4th. Wolverhampton Wanderers taking on Sporting Cowser, 2nd against 12th. That's going to be tough for Sporting Cowser. Then on Thursday, Loughborough Lightning in 11th against Hull City, who are in 7th. Of course, it's starting already. If you look at where like Loughborough Lightning, Halifax are on 5 points, getting then up towards the likes of Middlesbrough on 10 points. It's already starting. That gap is starting to increase. We're starting to see a little bit of a split. Of course, it's that Burnley and Wolves at the top. They're 5 points clear of everybody else at the moment, already starting to perhaps run away with the Northern Premier Division. The Southern Premier Division, again all Wednesday unless stated. AFC Bournemouth against Oxford United, 2nd against 5th. Exeter City against Plymouth Argyle, 9th against 4th. Hashtag United take on Billericay Town. Big game towards the bottom there. Hashtag United in 11th, Billericay Town in 12th. The bottom two coming up against each other. Billericay, of course, will be bottom no matter what happens in that game. They are 4 points away from Hashtag United. Lewis against AFC Wimbledon, 6th against 10th. Watford take on Real Bedford, 1st against 3rd. Great clash towards the top. And then on Thursday, Gwalior United, who are in 7th against Cheltenham Town, who are in 8th. So some big games in the Southern Premier Division at the top and bottom of the table this week. Moving into Division 1 Midlands, pretty much everybody playing on Thursday in this league, apart from Worcester City, who are in 8th against Kidderminster Harriers, who are 5th. Those two sides facing off against each other on Wednesday. But Barnsley Women's against Sheffield, 2nd against 6th. Boulmere St Michael's against Sutton Coldfield Town, 3rd against 9th. Leafield Athletic against Stourbridge, 4th against 11th. Lincoln United in 12th against Notts County in 7th. And Northampton Town in 10th against Peterborough United in 1st. All facing off on Thursday against one another. So there's a few kind of top versus bottom clashes in that one. Division 1 North, there's only 5 games taking place. Leeds United, who are in 5th, taking on Doncaster Rovers Bells, who are down in 8th. Stockport County against Huddersfield Town, 4th against 3rd. That is a good battle between those two sides. They will be trying to catch Wivenshaw and Cheadle Town Stingers, who are taking on one another on Wednesday evening. So the top 4 all playing each other in Division 1 North this upcoming week. Cheadle Town Stingers, with their perfect record so far, will be top of the table at the end of the midweek fixtures no matter what, but that gap could be either very, very big or it could have shrunk significantly. If Wivenshaw win, it goes down to 2 points. If Cheadle Town Stingers win and Stockport County and Huddersfield draw, then that gap is 8 points already at this early stage of the season. We're not quite hit the kind of third of the way through season yet. Then on Thursday, Chester Street Town against Durham Sestra is 7th against 11th. And Chorley take on Blackburn Rovers, that is 6th against 12th. Division 1 South East, there's one game on Tuesday. That is AFC Sudbury, who are in 11th against Norwich City, who are 2nd. Then on Wednesday, Chatham Town against Dulwich Hamlet is 6th against 8th. Milton Keynes Dons against Cambridge United is 10th against 5th. Queen's Park Rangers against Fulham, 4th against 1st rather. Then on Thursday, Cheshire United against Luton Town is 12th against 9th, and London Bees take on Actonians, which is 3rd against 7th. So not quite the blockbuster fixtures that are happening in Division 1 North, but still some interesting ties in there in Division 1 South East. Let's go to Division 1 South West. Bristol Rovers against Swindon Town is a Tuesday game. That's 2nd against 1st. Top of the table clash. Both of them have the opportunity to go to the top of the table. Swindon, of course, already there with their perfect record. Will that go this midweek? Worthing against Ascot United, 11th against 6th. Then on Wednesday, if Bristol Rovers and Swindon Town draw, then Moneyfields, when they go away to Bournemouth Sports, who are in 7th, they have the opportunity to go to the top of the table on goal difference. Because if Bristol Rovers win, they might also have the opportunity to go to the top on goal difference if they can beat Bournemouth Sports by a much bigger margin. Maidenhead United against Abingdon United is 9th against 8th. They're both trying to pull away from the relegation zone. Then on Thursday, Bridgewater United against Marine Academy Plymouth. 4th, Bridgewater United. 5th, Marine Academy Plymouth. And then also on Thursday, Keynsham Town in 10th against Portishead Town in 12th. Portishead Town yet to get off the mark this season. They will be in the relegation zone no matter what come the end of Thursday evening. But if they can get something against Keynsham Town, who are also down there and in amongst it, they might be able to make that gap a lot smaller and get themselves off the bottom of the table, as their goal difference is better than Worthing's. So, yes, plenty going on, but not as long as usual for this week's women's football chat, principally because the Cup and Plate, we don't have tables to analyse and there's fewer fixtures on the whole, but there's busy week coming up for the FAWNL with all of those Women's FA Cup games on Sunday, plus then midweek fixtures going into another round of league action a week on Sunday. We'll be covering all that on next week's show. Now, of course, the other thing to remember for Sunday is that the clocks go back, so do not miss your game because you haven't changed your clocks. In fact, actually, no, that would mean turning up an hour early, wouldn't it? Because they're going backwards. So yes, don't turn up to the ground ridiculously early because you have forgotten to change your clocks. They change on Sunday at 2 a.m. So we go 1:59 and then back to 1 a.m. again as the clocks change. Also, other news regarding the FAWNL, and hopefully we'll have some more content out on this tomorrow. That is that the beta for FM26 is out. 6 p.m. Tonight. You can start downloading it. I'm hoping to have some content out because, of course, women's football is in Football Manager this time around. It's not a playable league as the FAWNL, but the database is there. So I'm hoping I can get some FAWNL content out for you from Football Manager over the next few days. Much shorter women's football chat this week. Thank you very much for joining me. We'll be back on Switch Radio again next week as well, having a break from there because of it being County Cup. I've been Chris Gadsby. Thank you very much for watching this week's episode of the Women's Football Chat. Of course, if you want to get involved, at W Football Chat on X is the place to be. And we'll be back next week with at 8 o'clock with all of the very latest from the third and fourth tiers of women's football. That's the FAWNL. Thank you and goodbye.